In the hidden corners of Japan's sprawling cities, behind unmarked doors and beneath flickering neon signs, lie the forbidden pachinko clubs. These clandestine dens are wrapped in an aura of silence and shadow, places whispered about in the undercurrents of local urban legend. To many, they are not merely gambling halls, but threshold spaces where the barrier between the mundane and the supernatural thins and trembles. The streets outside may bustle with life, but inside these secretive rooms, time can feel suspended as if caught in a restless dream. Local folklore often speaks of spirits lingering within these clubs, invisible to most but sensed by those attuned to the subtle currents of the unseen world. Tales circulate of ghostly figures glimpsed in the haze of cigarette smoke, apparitions who watch silently from dark corners, neither harmful nor fully present, as if trapped between this realm and the next. Some say these phantoms are the souls of lost gamblers, forever bound to the machines that once dictated their fate. Others whisper of curses laid upon the places themselves, remnants of broken wagers and bitter desperation that anchor restless energy in the air. These pachinko clubs are frequently tucked away in seldom-traveled alleys or buried within labyrinthine basements, obscured by layers of urban decay and neglect. This hidden geography feeds the myth. For the less seen a place is, the more fertile it becomes for stories that dwell on the edges of belief. Few outsiders dare to enter after dark, and even those who work within the walls often speak cautiously, as if to avoid drawing attention from whatever unseen guests may be present. The dim lighting, the ceaseless clatter of metal balls, and the echoing chimes combine into an eerie symphony that many say unsettles the spirit. Some versions of the story claim that these clubs are sealed off not only from the law, but also from ordinary spiritual protection. While temples and shrines dotting Japan's cities are thought to shield their nearby neighborhoods from malevolent forces, these underground pachinko dens sometimes lack such blessings. It is said that the more secretive the club, the thicker the veil between seen and unseen grows within its walls. Urban legends also tell of strange occurrences, electronic devices glitching inexplicably, cold drafts drifting through soundproofed rooms, and soft whispers heard where no person stands. Some patrons report brief glimpses of a pale woman or a haggard man whose faces dissolve when looked at directly, like fleeting impressions on the edge of perception. Whether these accounts are rooted in restless spirits, collective imagination, or a blend of both, they contribute to the club's reputation as places where the familiar world blurs into something less certain. In this secretive realm, the clash of fortune and fate takes on a deeper meaning. Pachinko machines, usually associated with chance and material gain, become talismans intertwined with invisible forces. The belief was not proof, but it shaped how people saw these forbidden places, as threshold sites where the everyday meets the uncanny. Beneath the neon glow and shifting smoke of these underground pachinko clubs lies a tangled web of social and economic forces, quietly shaping their existence. Officially, many of these clubs operate in a gray area of Japan's intricate gambling laws, navigating a delicate balance to avoid direct confrontation with authorities. This legal ambiguity adds to their mystique, rendering them both shadowy and essential fixtures within certain neighborhoods. Despite the secrecy, these spaces often serve as more than mere gambling dens. They become uncanny social hubs for those on the fringes of urban life. Stories persist among locals of patrons who come not only seeking fortune, but also escaping loneliness, or even hiding from the harshness of the outside world. It is said that some who enter these hidden parlors are marked by a fading presence afterward, as if the boundary between their living selves and wandering spirits thins with each visit. Local folklore weaves these clubs into a broader tapestry of haunted or cursed places, where the restless energy of human suffering and desire accumulates. In some communities, older residents speak of pachinko dens that had once been ordinary homes or forgotten temples before falling into neglect and being repurposed. These transformations are steeped in unease, as if the building itself carries a memory, a silent witness to past sorrow. One hears whispers that the spirits of former dwellers or lost gamblers linger within the walls, unwilling or unable to leave. In these tales, machines that clatter relentlessly are seen as more than mechanical devices. They become conduits for unseen forces, echoing the fate of those caught in cycles of chance and misfortune. There are particular accounts, always framed as local legend rather than fact, about gamblers who vanish without explanation, swallowed by the narrowing alleys or swallowed whole by the city's underside. Some say their souls drift endlessly, entwined with the mechanical labyrinth of the Pachinko hall, forever chasing elusive luck in a liminal space between life and death. Such stories often grow stronger around the time of festivals or seasons associated with spirits, such as Obon, when the veil between the worlds is believed to be thinnest. It is during these times that the clubs reportedly grow eerier still, with faint footsteps echoing where no patron stands, and shadows lengthening beyond reasonable explanation. This blending of economic necessity and spectral belief is central to how these Pachinko clubs persist. For some, the risk of law and the brush with the supernatural are inseparable, woven into the very identity of these forgotten, forsaken urban corners. Patrons and workers alike sometimes observe a tacit respect toward the spirits rumored to dwell there, leaving small offerings or following unspoken rules to avoid provoking restless beings. While no temple or shrine formally blesses many of these spaces, the informal rituals speak to a deep-rooted cultural understanding. The place is burdened by human emotion, especially loss, desperation, and hope, can become vessels of lingering spirit. As society changes, so do the stories surrounding these haunted retreats. In the dim glow of these underground Pachinko clubs, it is the very uncertainty of their nature that casts the longest shadow. These places exist on the threshold, not just between legality and the law, but between the world of the living and the unseen realms whispered about in Japanese folklore. Much like the twilight spaces where yokai are said to drift, these hidden dens embody a liminal quality that captures something intangible yet deeply human. The flickering lights and ceaseless clatter of pachinko balls become more than background noise. They resonate like echoes of otherworldly presence, a subtle reminder that not all who wander here are fully among the living. Folklore often depicts liminal spaces, forests just before dusk, mountain passes where spirits roam, or bridges crossed by travelers returning from beyond. These secret clubs, tucked away in forgotten urban folds, feel akin to such places caught between realities. They stand as modern thresholds where restless souls might linger. Stories inspire caution, and unseen forces seem to hover just beyond perception. Despite the shadows that cloak them, these pachinko clubs also reveal a human cost quietly etched into their walls. Tales carried in whispers speak not only of vanished gamblers, but of lives marked by desperation and quiet despair. The repeated cycles of hope and loss, chance and fate, carve invisible scars that become imbued with brushstrokes of spiritual weight. While no verified record confirms hauntings or curses beyond local legend, the persistence of these stories reflects something more than superstition. It is a cultural mirror showing how people make sense of hardship, addiction, and invisible struggles. Some patrons and workers describe a palpable stillness or an uneasy awareness that interrupts the ordinary flow of time within these rooms, suggesting a shared silent acknowledgement of the intangible presence around them. The belief that the clubs lack formal spiritual protection adds to this uneasy atmosphere, as if a protective veil has been deliberately lifted or forgotten, leaving only a fragile boundary between safety and the unknown. In this way, the underground pachinko clubs become not merely secret gambling dens, but metaphors, a reminder of how modern life in Japan remains threaded with threads of old belief and spiritual mystery. They stand as enigmatic crossroads with a fast pace of urban living brushes against the deeper, quieter rhythms of folklore and spirit. By existing in this shadowed space, these clubs invite reflection on the delicate balance between seen and unseen, luck and fate, hope and despair. As the neon lights flicker and the machines clatter deep in the city's unseen veins, one is left with a lingering impression. These are places where the ordinary and the uncanny entwine, where forgotten stories of spirits and human longing persist in restless silence. Whether one views these clubs as haunted places or simply spaces where hardship breathes life to folklore, they remain sealed within Japan's collective memory, a dark corridor in the labyrinth of urban myth, where the past and present intertwine beneath the glow of ghostly neon.